Mel Kiper Jr.'s Mock Draft 2.0, fresh this morning, available right now on ESPN.com, and we have movement. Mel's new top 10. No surprises at 1 and 2. Let's bring in the man himself, Mel Kiper Jr. So, Mel, you're shaking things up near the top.
Yeah, thanks. So we've got a lot of players coming to this draft that are looking good. Everyone wants to know where they're going to fall. Thomas Ruggles-Roginski, another player coming off the IR due to a bad hand and straight into the draft. Now, there are a lot of questions about his draft status and offseason conditioning since most practices have been closed off to scouts. A player at the tail end of his storied career like his could be problematic. Owners have told me privately that he has reached out with his good hand and is good to go, however. Although that is a level of trust I'm not sure most organizations are willing to accept. He does play from the far up tees, and that makes him an easy mid-round grab for a team with special needs. Steven Slesser. Now, Slesser's prima donna attitude has been a factor in minicamps, I've been told, and coming off of a championship, he has all the makings of a top 3 pick. His handicap could be an issue for some teams that will struggle to find a spot. But this kid brings a lot to the table. And I really do like his upside as a proven winner if he can keep those emotions in check. Sean Haynes, I can't remember a more promising young player coming into the draft. I've been told by sources that being on the IR last year, he is back in form and could be the star player he has shown glimpses of in the past and the combine. Haynes is that another type of player where he's a 5-star player that you really can build a franchise around, much like Stancil, and he is the clear number 1 pick in my eyes. He's the kind of player you sell the farm for, you go get Sean Haynes, and you thank me later. Trent Tour, I know there's a lot of talk about him not playing much last year, and he is working with a new coach. But he showed at the Combine some troubling signs, and he does not look quite as sharp as he used to be, especially heading into this season. His ballooning handicap really could make him the steal of the bottom third of this draft, though I'd be surprised if he really cracks the top 10. Clifton Washington III, there isn't another player in this draft that has the work ethic like Washington III. Despite being on the PUP list for the first part of this season due to a foot surgery, I see him as another dark horse pick for MVP for this season, and owners know he isn't going to be available for very long in this draft. I like Washington going at 5. Jeffrey Waterstrat. Waterstrat had to contend with a slew of offseason contract disputes, and finding his place in the draft has been difficult. His offseason battle with Baranek for the 4th A player has either left him primed for competition or has drained his will to play. And with a new training facility near him, he could be getting his offseason shape, that he promised last year. I like Waterstrat as a top 6 pick, with a possibility to be taken even higher on the right team. Andy Welmers, playing up a tee, steady drive, Mr. Consistent. I could see him going as high as 4th and really making a difference on a team where he's partnered up with a good short game player like Mr. Garrity. He does bring that real veteran presence to any team, and I could see either team really scrambling to snag him in an early round. Again, I like him 4th overall. Ryan Anderson, sell. Anderson is coming off of the worst season to date, which has terrified most front office staffs. There may be an option for him as a walk-on, but honestly, he's the kind of player that could have used 1 or 2 more years in college or even the Canadian League to work out his game. I'm really low on Ryan Anderson, and I really don't expect him to go much higher than 13th or 14th. Derek Dias. This kid coming out of Florida's Tom Brady University is something. He brings nothing to a scramble, but in best balls, he is the real deal, a complete player. Despite most models, I actually have him as a mid-round pick. His presence in the locker room may be a red flag for most teams, but overall, I like the pick. And if he has a coach that can keep his antics bottled up, I really like Derek Dias. Jake Jarvis, the rookie out of Langwood State, could be a sleeper pick. His upside is tremendous, and he's got a lot of growing up to do. Smart owners should be able to match him up with a coach that can help him advance as a starter, especially off the tee. My projections have him as a 3rd to 4th round absolute steal. Shaheen Rajai, he's got raw talent that scouts love, and they've clearly seen that over the past 12 years. But, like Mr. Wilmers, he is well past his prime, and off-the-field distractions have been an issue in the past. So we'll have to kind of see how that plays out, especially depending on which team takes him. Rajai, like Tour, could be a late-round steal if a team is willing to take that risk. However, I don't see many teams willing to bite that off. Matt Baranek, last year's winner of the Most Improved Player Award, is the mock draft darling of 2023. Experts aren't scared of his suspect handicap and see him as a legit A player going forward through this season. Rumors are that there may be a trade up to get him from a team that is just missing that one impact player to make a legit run this season. And they can push off that salary cap worry until next year. I really like Matt Baranek in the first 2 rounds like most analysts do. Yeah, Tom Graham, he's coming off of a humiliating runner-up last year. And after a lengthy IR late in the season, I have heard from Adam Schefter he will be good to play by the start of the season. But his injury could scare some teams away. I see him going early to middle rounds for sure. He is a junkyard match player dog. He has the full package. Short game, pretty steady off the tee, but he really brings that extra gear that many teams could be looking for. I like Tom Graham. Tommy Stansel, this kid is a killer from the fairway and on the greens. One of the best putters I've seen in a draft in a long time. There is no way he does not go in the first 2 rounds. He really is that kind of player that teams would like to build a franchise around.